NASCAR Cup Series driver Erik Jones will miss his second race at Kansas Speedway after being in a brutal wreck at Talladega. Legacy Motor Club announced that Jones will not compete in the race at Kansas Speedway despite being cleared by doctors to compete. Before we get into this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at John Trent Racing. Before we get into this announcement, let's take a look at exactly what happened. The team Toyota and all of their teams decided to do a pit strategy. They all came out. They were trying to run a certain speed in order to basically take control of the race. It would eventually backfire, as most of the cars would be involved in this wreck here. But it worked out for Tyler Reddick, as he would go on to become the winner. But let's take a look at the wreck here. What happened? Pay attention to the number 43 car. He is second in line. That is Erik Jones's car. He is behind the white and black car, number 45, which is Tyler Reddick. Bubba Wallace is behind him in the 23. And then John Hunter Nemechek is right behind him in the blue and white, number 42. Then you have Martin Truex and Denny Hamlin. So here is the wreck. Things are looking good. They're going in the turn, and I don't know if John Hunter Nemechek gets into Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace gets into Erik Jones, but obviously things go wrong. Jones goes straight headfirst into the outside wall. Car is absolutely smashed in. Jones would speak to NBC News and other reporters during an appearance. I believe this was at Dover. This was the first race that he missed. And he kind of talked about exactly what happened at Talladega. He says, "It hurt when I crashed. I've never broken a bone in my life, so I didn't even know what that would feel like. I got out of the car on my own and I was feeling better. Obviously, adrenaline is going and I'm pumped up still. Got to the care center, told them what was wrong. My back was hurting, and they poked and prodded all over me, as they normally do. And I said everything felt okay. And I told them multiple times it was feeling just like muscle strain to me." And I'll actually say that this happened to me recently. I actually broke a finger in my left hand, and I thought it was just I pulled a muscle or something, but went and got an x-ray, and it was indeed broken. Just because I'd never broken a bone in my hand, didn't really know what that felt like. It wasn't like intense searing pain. It was just kind of like an annoyance. So I get what he's talking about there. He went on and said this, I went back right away, or he says he actually went to his bus, changed clothes, and then realized there was a more significant issue. It took me about 3 weeks to go get an x-ray because it just kept bothering me. But anyways, Erik Jones went on to say, "I went back right away and said, look, I think there's probably more wrong here than what I was letting on to you guys. It's really starting to cause me some pain. And so then we made the decision to transport to the hospital. We took an x-ray there. I saw some possible problems. We weren't really sure with the equipment. So we went ahead and transferred to UAB, which is University of Alabama, Birmingham, University Hospital." And then, so then I asked, why was Jones able to walk out of the infield care center after getting clearance? The answer is fairly straightforward. As team co-owner Jimmy Johnson explained, in my experience with crashes and injuries, it takes a little bit of time for stuff to sink in. I think Erik did the right thing going back to the infield care center. Once he got to his bus, his environment changed a little bit, and he handled that very well. I think the care center reacted perfectly. So Jones then added this here: "The wreck and the injury I had, it could have been a lot worse in a lot of ways. I think that is a testament to the safety. I think NASCAR has gotten some of a bad rap this week. The next-gen car gets a bad rap. And at the end of the day, I think the car did its job." I think it has a bad rap because it was having issues, especially, I think it was last year. Kurt Busch backed in. They had that whole issue with the rear ends where it was causing drivers to get concussions. And indeed, Kurt Busch crashed at Pocono. Just looked like a simple spin, hit the rear end, hit the back end of the car, hit the wall during qualifying lap, and his NASCAR Cup Series career was over after that because of the concussion. So I do think that that's probably why there is a bad rap. Obviously, NASCAR has made significant amounts of changes. We've seen that the car now does indeed kind of crumple when it has a rear end impact, and that is definitely massive improvements that they have made to that car. And I think that there is a lot of people talking about the improvements of the car. So I'm not sure the car gets a lot of bad rap. I think the car gets more of a bad rap on how it performs at short tracks, which that needs a lot of work. But anyways, Legacy Motor Club announced over here on X that Erik Jones would not be racing at Kansas tomorrow on Sunday. They said Erik Jones has been cleared to race by doctors and approved to return by NASCAR, but out of an abundance of caution, the team has opted for Jones to rest for another event. So just to be clear, he did, I think he fractured a bone in his back. That's what actually happened. And they're saying he has been cleared now. Usually fractures take a couple of weeks. I mean, sometimes a month to heal. So I don't know if I've never had a back injury or anything like that. So I don't know if they just heal quicker. But 2 weeks is pretty quick for a fractured bone, I feel like, to be cleared to race. But I mean, I would assume he might be in some significant pain, or at least it would be a chronic pain, I guess, almost. But it might be like a dull pain or something. Again, I've never experienced a back injury. If you have, let me know in the comments what it's like. Corey Heim will drive the number 43 Dollar Tree Toyota Camry XSE at Kansas Speedway this weekend. Jones will attend the race at Kansas Speedway to support crew chief Dave Allens and the number 43 team, and plans to return to the driver's seat next weekend at Darlington Raceway, a track where he has 2 NASCAR Cup Series victories. Yes, a track that he performs very well at. I remember him really surprising everyone. Was a couple years ago. Just had a really, really good car at Darlington. I was really happy that he won that race. But Jones actually agrees with the decision. He says, I agree with Legacy Motor Club's decision to ensure proper rest before I get back in the car. I will be in Kansas this weekend to continue to support the number 43 team and Corey Heim, and I look forward to being back behind the wheel at Darlington. I think this is probably the proper thing. I think even if doctors have cleared him, he probably want another week of rest. You don't want to really kind of be putting pressure on that. Obviously, those seats that are in, you have to be a certain way. I assume he's probably maybe tested that a little bit and seen what that's like, and maybe it's pretty discomfortable, and he wants another week to maybe heal, so it's like less discomfort, less of that pain. Just obviously spitballing here, guessing, don't have any real insight into this, but that would kind of be my guess. Give you another week, let it heal a little bit more. Our God made our bodies pretty powerful that they do indeed heal. It just takes a little bit of time to heal. So I'm looking forward to Erik Jones getting back behind the wheel at Darlington. I'm glad that he is taking this off. I know that they have the medical waiver in place, so he should be able to hopefully make a charge, maybe get a win at Darlington. That is one of his better tracks. Like they said, he has 2 wins, so gets a win, gets into the playoffs, and moves forward from there, and doesn't really kind of puts that wreck at Talladega behind him. But let me know what you guys make of Erik Jones not racing at Kansas despite being cleared by doctors. Let me know in the comments below.